My project is the effect of water acidification on fish, and the problem of my experiment is how do changes in pH impact the growth and life of aquatic organisms. For my research, I found that acid in water can have a very negative impact on fish, and this acid can be traced to acid rain and pollutions from factories. I decided that this water, the more acidic water, would be very detrimental to the fish. My hypothesis was that if the pH of the environment of the fish is lowered, the death rates will increase and mutations will occur due to the acidity of the environment. And my hypothesis was proved correct. My lab's setup, I had goldfish, fish tanks, water, food, vinegar, and pH testing strips, and I got all the materials. I separated the fish into three different containers: 6.5 pH, 5.5 pH, and a control for 7.5 pH. I put fish in each tank, then I watched them and recorded them at 12 hours, 24 hours, and 48 hours. Then I repeated the experiment and I graphed the data. My variables were independent pH of the fish environment, dependent death rates over time, and so my controlled variables were water, species of fish, amount of fish, and the time spent in the environment. I narrowed these down to only the independent variable by trying to keep everything else perfectly controlled. I measured the number of fish dead, and I also measured the average gill flaps per minute, and the trend showed that the more acidic pHs caused more deaths over time, and it also lowered the average gill flaps per minute over time. On my second trial, my trends followed almost exactly the same, and I expected this because I didn't change anything else about the experiment. These two graphs show how the death rate and the gill flaps changed over time depending on the pH of the containers, and it's a really good way to show what the pH has actually done to the fish. These are some pictures of the fish, including the two first containers, my control, and then some of the empty containers after the fish had all died by about the second day. I found that decreasing the pH causes death rate to go up and gill flaps to go down. I encountered many mistakes during this, such as limited time, limited resources, and I had a lot of deaths the first time I bought the fish, so I had to buy them again. If I could do this again, I would study exactly how and what body systems were affected through the acidity of the water. In conclusion, I think that the data was reflective of the effect in the real world, and this can be applied because we can see exactly what pollution and acid rain does to fish populations. We can project these populations, and we can use this information to get people to raise their voices against these companies causing this acid rain.